Hey everybody, welcome to my video showing you how to install lights into your SketchUp model using Enscape. Now I will actually do a series of quick videos based on each light type so that it makes the process of learning a little bit faster for you. Now all of the light bulbs are located in the Enscape Objects button, which looks like a black circle with the white plus sign in the Enscape toolbar. Once you click on that button, this little window pops up and it's listing out all the different types of bulbs that Enscape comes with. Now you never actually see the light bulb in your model, at least not in the Enscape part. You do see something in SketchUp. But understand that each of these light bulbs are going to emit light in a different way. So I'm going to start with explaining the sphere. Now if you want to look at any of the other bulbs, definitely look for those in one of my other videos. But I like to think of the sphere bulb as a general light bulb, where the light starts in the center of the bulb and it gives an ambient general light radiating in all directions. Use this in any fixture that could take a basic bulb like a table lamp or a floor lamp or even like a wall sconce like the one that you see here in my model. When it's time to place the bulb into the sconce, there's a couple things that you need to consider first. Number one is you want to analyze your light fixture. And yes, you do need to have a light fixture in your model if you want to add lights. So don't ever add a light without a proper fixture. Make sure that if your fixture has like a glass housing, kind of like this one does, that material is actually transparent. Otherwise, your light's not going to shine through. So I actually downloaded this from the 3D warehouse and I had to repaint this fixture with a transparent glass material because originally it was not transparent and I couldn't get the light to shine through. Let me tell you how frustrated I got. So once I did that, then it started working great. The other thing you have to consider is that if you have multiple of the same light fixture in your project, so like for instance in this model you can see that I have that same fixture over here on this other wall. Make sure that that fixture is a component before you clone the fixture. Or, when I say cloning, I'm meaning placing multiple fixtures, like copying the fixture into different places. Because the idea behind it is that you edit one of these components, then we're going to place the bulb into the fixture, and what it'll do is it'll automatically add it to all of the clones of that fixture. So that's why it's really important to make your light fixtures components. So if it's not, please go ahead and do so. The last thing to kind of think of when you're putting light into one of these fixtures is to actually put the bulb where the bulb would be inserted into the fixture. So in this case, the bulb is going to go right in the middle of this glass housing right here. So to insert it, it's a two-step process. First, I'm going to edit the component, and then I'm in edit mode when you see those dots. Then I'm going to click on the sphere and I'm just going to go ahead and add it right to this model. I don't need to go any further into this fixture in terms of editing group or editing component. A lot of the items from 3D Warehouse have groups within groups within groups, but really you just need to edit the component and then you can add the lighting outside of the fixture. So I'm going to zoom in really close as I dare, and then I'm just going to try and place this somewhere. This is one of those objects it's best to place it first and then adjust it. The sphere has a two-click process. The first click is going to determine a base point from which your bulb will be placed. Now it doesn't make the bulb stick, but it does give you something to grab onto while you figure out where exactly to place the bulb. The second one is going to make it click. So I actually usually just go right back to the first point I clicked on, and then it installs that bulb. And I'm going to zoom back out so that you can see that it kind of puts this yellowish hexagonal like blob. That's representing the bulb and some of the light that's coming out of the bulb. Simply use the move command with that light highlighted, and we're going to try and get it so that it goes right into place. Now I found it's really easy to work with if you keep it on the green, red, or blue axes. And you kind of have to orbit a little bit and play with how this goes into this bulb. So see how I thought I was on? And I was actually totally off. So you might have to orbit around a little bit and find your happy place. But the goal is to really get that light fixture inside of that glass bulb or the glass casing of the sconce. And with this particular one, like I think I have it when I don't even see the glass casing anymore. I just see the hexagonal glob. And you can look over here and see that indeed we did light up that sconce. With the bulb highlighted, you can see that there are some scroll bars that you can play with. And the top one is the luminous intensity. So how much light that's putting out. Whoa, that's a lot of light. This is meant to be more of a decorative piece. So I'm going to bring it back a little bit. It should just be kind of softly glowing. But the light source radius will help you determine like how far out that light actually goes. And you can also kind of create some cool effects on objects near the light source. And I kind of like having that little bit of a ring on the wall in the back. And I'm going to come out and you can see how it's giving that effect. And you can play with how big that is, how small it is, how bright you actually end up wanting it. I'm going to guess something kind of like that. I really do like that effect on that back wall. Now I'm not quite done yet because we have a second glass housing that we need to put this into. So I'm going to clone this light asset while I'm inside of that component. I'm going to use the move command, hold down the control button, click my base point, let go of the control button, and then I've successfully cloned that light asset. I'm going to hit the up arrow on my keyboard to force it to go along the blue axis. And I'm going to try and install this light fixture the same way that it's installed in the one above. And I think that's pretty gosh darn good. Look at, I have the double ring effect that I was going for. It looks like it's emitting light for sure. And when I come back around, actually let me get out of this component and I'll come back around. And yeah, it gets kind of dark in your model until you zoom back in. And then you can see that the other one has started emitting light as well. So again, work smart, don't work hard. Don't copy all these light fixtures and then put lights into every single one of them. Use the component feature to create clones of your fixtures, and then you just have to add lights once and the rest of them will go with it. Now the sconce that you see up here in the ceiling is meant to be a little bit more decorative than room lighting as well. So if I want to, I can give it a really nice soft glow coming from it. Technically speaking, these lights would probably have LED on the inside portions of the bands that are glowing, but just for a quick and easy lighting effect, you can place a bulb in the center of the fixture. Just make sure they're components, and you just add the light once and it should add the light to all of them. So again, I'm going to highlight this, edit the component, and now I'm adding a different sphere. So the difference between the one that I'm about to add and the other ones in the sconce is that they're considered completely different bulbs now. If I were to adjust the sconces, all the sconces would adjust. But now that I have added a separate bulb into these light fixtures on the ceiling, you're going to see how now I can control these separately from the sconce lights. So again, I'm going to try and use my red, green, blue axes. That's how you're going to more effectively move these guys. But I want it somewhat in the center. Oh, I was trying to rotate it there. Did you see that? Don't rotate it, at least not yet. You can rotate it, but it's just not going to get very far. And sometimes it gets a little cranky, so you might have to adjust your view. But now I have that bulb in the center, and you can see in Enscape how that's kind of illuminating this chandelier without me actually having to do anything to the bands. This chandelier I got from Enscape. And again, you can adjust how bright it is, how far out that light source is going. And sometimes you can see Enscape's just trying to re-render everything based on the information that you're giving it. But then I always like to take a step back out and see if I can tell how bright That's actually illuminating. Again, this is mostly supposed to be decorative. It's not really meant to light up the whole room. So I don't even know if I need to go super bright with it. It's really kind of up to you to decide and play with all the settings for it. In general, that's all there is to understanding and installing the sphere bulb. I'm just going to come back out of the component so that you can see how it installed. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to work with the spot, rectangle, and disc lights.